What's up, brand builders? Stephen Hurahan here at BrandMasterAcademy.com, and in this video you're going to learn the #1 personal branding mistake that you need to avoid so you can go out and carve your own path, build your own brand, and more importantly, build a reputation that will make other people want to do business with you. Now, if you're new to the channel and you want actionable brand strategy tips and techniques to grow your business, well then hit that subscribe button and the notification bell and you'll be well on your way. Now, when I first started to build my own personal brand, I was absolutely terrible. As most people are when they start, I was terrible at writing articles, I was terrible at social media posts, and I was absolutely terrible at video. Now, many business owners, if you're making just one of these, Thank you for taking the time to... Now, as terrible as I was at all of these things, that was a really important time for me. And anybody getting into personal branding for the first time, when you're putting out posts for the first time, that period is a really important time for you too, because it's the time that you make mistakes. But you need to be persistent and stick with it. That's what I've done. And over time, I learned to gain a bit more confidence about what I was doing. I gained more conviction, and over time I found my own unique voice. Now, over the years I've built some really good relationships with other branding influencers in the space, and recently a couple of them reached out to me to tell me that they've noticed somebody else within the space using my unique voice and my unique content. Now, I'm not talking here about inspiration. I take inspiration from people that I look up to. So Reiss, Jack Trout, Marty Neuemeir, Chris Do, Seth Godin, Gary Vaynerchuck. I take inspiration from all of these people, and I reference these people often within my content. I'm not talking about inspiration here. I'm talking about word for word copying. So I'm talking articles directly from my blog, premium content and frameworks, email drip sequences, email for email, word for word, and more recently, YouTube videos. And even though I've paid an external company to get him to take 3 articles that were word for word my premium content down off his website, it still hasn't deterred him, and he's still doing it. And more people are starting to notice this now and sending me through content when it comes out, when they see my emails and they can hear my voice, or they see videos and they can hear my sentences. They're sending me this content, and I have to say, when you hear somebody speaking your own words that you've sat down and taken the time to write out, it's a weird feeling. And in the beginning I was pretty pissed off about it, but I'm not the only one that he's doing this to, and now he has built a personal brand and a reputation within the space of somebody that people don't want to work with. Now, of course, any brand or any personal brand share the same topics and the same keywords with their competitors, but the same topics and the same keywords don't mean the same content and the same sentences. So let me give you an example here. Within the branding space on YouTube, you've got many different channels. You've got The Future with Chris Do. He's his own unique voice. He has his own perspective, his own philosophies, and his own way of delivering content. You have Philip Van Dusen. He's a personal brand. He has his own experiences as well, his own ideas, again, his own philosophies, and his own unique content and his own unique voice. And then Kay Putnam, the same thing. We're all sharing the same space. We all talk about the same thing. We all talk about the same content, the same topics, and the same keywords, but we don't share the same unique voice. We don't say the same things. We don't say the same sentences. You're not going to hear Kay's or Philip's or Chris Do's content coming from me, and you're not going to hear my content coming from them, because we each focus on ourselves. We focus on building our own brands, our own personal brands, our own philosophies, ideas, and way of communicating the information. And what we certainly don't do is we don't look at our competitors, write down what they're saying, and then say the same thing. Now, as someone with a creative background, I can tell you I've gone to many places for inspiration, whether it's content creation or brand identity design. But what I've never ever done is I've never taken somebody else's content or taken somebody else's brand identity design and tried to pass it off as my own, because even if I got comments to say my content was great, or I had a client telling me my brand identity was awesome, inside I would feel like a fake and a fraud. And I have a consciousness that would gnaw on me and say, hey, what are you doing? Why don't you just create your own? Now, I speak mostly about business branding, but everything in business branding translates into personal branding because it's all one and the same. You're building your brand, you're building your reputation. So having a purpose that you believe in, having values that you hold yourself accountable to, having a unique personality that people can gravitate towards, and having authenticity and just generally being honest. All of this translates into personal branding. And Jeff Bezos once said that your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So essentially your brand is your reputation. And if you're building your brand off of content that's not yours, off of a voice that's not yours, off of email drip sequences that aren't yours, then eventually people are going to notice. They're going to realize that, look, this person is just taking other people's content. So the biggest mistake that you could ever make within personal branding is copying other people and not taking the time to find your own unique voice. Now, as I said, when I started out, I was absolutely crap. And I remember I used to send my outtakes to my WhatsApp family group, and my sisters would be dying with laughter at how bad I really was. But I stuck with it, and it would have been a lot easier for me to go out and try and copy what other people were doing. But I didn't do that. I focused on myself. I focused on my own voice and my own ideas and philosophies, and I worked on learning how to communicate those ideas and philosophies in my own unique way. And even today, this is all still a work in progress. The me that you see on camera today, it's not the 100% me, because I still have some insecurities, but the more videos I do, the more confidence and conviction I have, the more of me I put out there. And, you know, my followers are now starting to see a side of me and a personality to me that, you know, previously has been reserved for my friends and family. And that's all due to the fact that I am finding my own unique voice. I'm getting more confidence and conviction, and I'm starting to believe more in what I'm doing because I'm connecting with people and I'm building a personal brand, and people are reaching out to me to tell me that they feel now that they know me through the development of my own unique voice and through working on myself. Now, this unique voice that I have, to be honest, it's nothing special, but it's mine. I've taken the time to develop it, and I've learned how to communicate my ideas and my philosophies, and it's all starting to come back to me now. I have followers telling me that they've been binging on my content and they feel that they know who I am because I'm giving as much of myself as I possibly can. And it's not just coming back to me through the likes and the follows and the comments, it's coming back to me through personal one-on-one emails. I had a student a couple of weeks ago telling me that she tripled her income. I had another student just the other day telling me he just nailed a $40,000 brand strategy contract, and just going back a few weeks ago, he never would have thought that would have been possible. And this is all coming back to me, and it's all really feeding into my belief in what I'm doing, as I said, and that is really fulfilling to me. And it really makes me feel that I'm on the right path to, you know, building something that I can be proud of, building something that's truly unique and truly my own. Now, this video is not to tell you don't steal. I'm going to assume that you're not going to steal. This video is to encourage you to go out and create your own path. Now, it's not easy, and as the old adage goes, if it was easy, everybody would do it. It's not easy. It's difficult. And there will be times where you sit down and you create a piece of content, whether it's an article or a carousel post or a video, and you might spend 5 hours creating that piece of content, and you send it out into the world and you might get a couple of likes, and it might feel like all of that time was for nothing, and you know, you invested all of that time, and that's where most people give up. But that time is only wasted when you give up. If you don't, if you persist, if you keep going, well, then that time that you put in will become experience. That experience will lead into confidence in what you're doing and conviction. That will lead into your own unique voice developing, and then you giving that to the world. And at the end of the day, when it comes to your personal brand, your own unique voice is your differentiation strategy. So take the time to work on carving out your own path, working on your own unique voice, and that's when other people will gravitate towards who you are and what you have to offer. And when you do find that unique voice and other people decide that they want to copy you, well, then take it for exactly what it is, which is a big fat thank you. Thank you for being so unique and putting out great and unique content. I really do admire what you do. But I would genuinely love to hear from you. Have you had this experience before where somebody else has taken your content, or are you trying to find your own unique voice at the moment? And are you struggling? Do you have any challenges or any questions or any unique experiences that you'd like to share in the comments below? Let me know. I'll do my best to answer all of those. Feel free to reach out to me directly as well, Stephen@BrandMasterAcademy.com. If you email me, I'll email you directly back. So please feel free to reach out via email or in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell as well. It'll let you know when we've got new content coming out. If you want actionable brand strategy tips and techniques, jump on over to BrandMasterAcademy.com. And there are plenty of resources on there. If you want to learn how to build brands from scratch, how to build brand strategies from scratch, there are plenty of resources on there as well. But as I said, please let me know in the comments below any experiences, any challenges. I'll do my best to answer all of those. Until next time, brand like the unique master that you are, and I'll see you in the next video.